today's call by just asking a couple of friends to raise their hand using the icon on Zoom, that we could bring you off mute and just have you share one way that Optavia has blessed your life. Okay, I see Michelle. Let's see if I can.
Mejken, can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you. Yep, Shannon.
I would love to share. So Optavia has blessed my life over the past decade that I've been involved in studying these things. One thing in your life book, in our life book, my life book, is that, and moving into the empowerment triangle. I feel like today I had the opportunity with somebody on this call. Actually, we had a discussion about some personal things. And when I was talking to her, I think my initial response would be defensive before. And it was amazing as I reflected on the things that I've learned in this program, not just healthy body, but healthy mind, how I was able to apply those things today, and how it was one of those win moments where I thought, oh my goodness, like it's happening. My brain is changing. Like it's actually helping me. So I'm just so grateful for the tools in our life book that we can apply on a daily basis that just help us so much. So grateful for the healthy mind portion.
Wow, Shan, I love that. Just seeing how you can apply it in everyday life all the time. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. And then I saw Michelle's hand. I think, are you off mute, Michelle?
Yes, I'd love to share. Yeah, Optavia has helped me definitely with a healthy mind, but the first way it helped me was with a healthy body. And I had surgery and I had put on like 20 pounds and had tried ridiculously hard to get it off, but I couldn't. The things that had worked in the past weren't working, and my joints started hurting and my blood pressure started going up, and also my sleep was affected, which I had no idea was connected to my weight. But when I did the program, within a couple weeks, I started sleeping, my joint pain went away, and I couldn't believe it because I'd been trying so hard before, but everything just started working, and my blood pressure, my doctor just cheered me on when I went a couple months ago. After 3 years, it's still low, like 108 over 65. And
that is amazing, Michelle. Thank you so much for sharing. And it's just incredible to me how many physical changes you can see when you start to make those changes to your weight. Just incredible. I see some more hands, but we are going to have to move on. So thank you so much to all of you for being willing to share. We could talk about this all day if we had time. So we're going to go ahead and just go over the 4 components of our program. Most of you are pretty familiar with the 4 components, but just in case you aren't, let's do a quick review. So the first component is the coach. And as coaches, we are just there as your accountability partner. We get to be a sounding board and someone that partners with you as you work to make your health goals a reality. The second component is our Habits of Health transformational system. And really, this is our education component that addresses our mindset. So we always talk about how our bodies will always match up to where our mind is set. So it's really essential that we take the time to address that education for long-term success. And then our third component is our Optavia community. So if you have joined us tonight, you are getting a taste of that community. And I always say that working towards a health goal is so much more enjoyable with friends. When you're walking hand in hand with like-minded people who have some of the same or similar goals as you do, it just, again, makes it so that you can be successful long-term. And then the final component is our scientifically designed fuelings. I don't know what I used to do without fuelings, you guys. They are incredible, convenient, easy, simple, and provide you with the necessary nutrition to live a healthy lifestyle, and really just to help you accomplish your own personal health goals while you're working through your own personal program with your coach. Pretty amazing. So we're going to go ahead and move right into tonight's topic. My name is Mejken and I am a certified Optavia coach. I've been a coach for 6 years now. And I have struggled with my weight in the past. That first picture is of me in high school. And one of the things that I've realized, especially as I was preparing for this webinar, is that I was just missing that education component. When I was introduced to Optavia 6 years ago, I realized that that was the biggest thing that I needed, not just to lose a little bit of weight, right? But to make long-term change that could stick. And so fast forward to 2020, I had my third and final baby. I lost 35 pounds in 4 months on our nursing moms plan. And it's been so fun to get to experience the program while, again, using that education to really help people make long-term change in their life. So we're going to jump right into the most exciting part of tonight's webinar. Some of you may have joined just for this very thing. We want to introduce our 2-week Choose Your Heart challenge that's actually starting on Monday, September 13th, and it moves through September 26th. So this is a 2-week challenge. It's not too long and not too short. Ooh, not too long and not too short, but it's really that perfect amount of time that we can take to get a fresh start on some of those goals that maybe you've pushed aside for a while. So as part of tonight's webinar, we really do want to take some time to go over the logistics of what that's going to look like for you. If this is the first time that you're hearing about the Choose Your Heart challenge, make sure that you reach out to the person that invited you so that you have the opportunity to download the app. So hear me again, make sure that you're not just filling out the form to register, but that you're actually downloading the app to your phone, and reach out to the person that invited you to receive that link. On the next slide, you'll see, I'll go over some of the things that we're looking for. After you download that app, you're going to want to join the challenge. It's just a Google Doc, and then you'll fill out the form and print out your tracker. We're going to go back and talk about that tracker in a few minutes, but here are some of the things that you get to look forward to in the next 2 weeks. So we are actually going to be hosting daily lives every morning that start at 6 a.m. Pacific. And then we will also be doing weekly Friday check-ins and Wednesday night webinars. The 2 Wednesdays that we have during the challenge, will be hosting a nightly webinar, and those Friday check-ins just for added accountability. So here is a picture of the tracker. This is the one that you're going to want to print out, and you'll notice that on each day within the calendar, there's 5 different micro habits that you're going to be focusing on. And I want to go over those so that you kind of understand what your objective is and how you can earn prizes throughout the challenge. So the first component we want to focus on is attending those daily lives. And if you get on that live and you attend it, you get a check. You get to take your pencil and put a little check next to that first component. But if you attend the live and you make a comment, you get a check plus. So you get to put a check plus next to that one. The second component you'll notice on your tracker is we are going to be going through Dr. Anderson's ebook. So if on any given day, if you open your ebook, you get a check. But if you actually open your ebook and you read the chapter, you get a check plus. You see where I'm going with this? The next component is your eating plan, the eating plan of your choice that you've decided to follow during Choose Your Heart. If you somewhat follow it, and you just fill your water bottle with water, you get a check. But if you follow it 100% and you actually drink your water for that day, you get a check plus. Same thing for your movement goal. If you put on your shoes in preparation for your workout, all you have to do is put them on, you get a check. But if you put on your shoes and then you actually go for your workout, you get a check plus. And the last one, maybe the most important, we're going to be focusing on breathing. So if you take 3 deep breaths throughout the day, you get a check. But if you take the time to process emotion as they come up each day, as they always do, right, throughout the challenge, you'll get a check plus. So now I am going to introduce to you Lauri Warren, who is also a certified Optavia coach, and she and I have put our heads together and decided that we wanted to share our top 2 tips for success for this Choose Your Heart challenge. And she's going to share the first one. Go for it, Lauri.
Oh, I'm so excited, Mike, and thank you. And like she said, my name's Lauri Warren. I'm coming at you from Dallas, Texas. And I actually started my journey with Optavia almost 5 years ago, after about 30 years of looking for answers for what I thought was a broken metabolism, and was really shocked and thrilled and grateful when I finally lost the 30 pounds that I had been trying to say goodbye to for a long time. And losing weight was exciting, but what was really unexpected was to see how improving my mindset really helped me improve more than just my health. It's affected every part of my life. And that mindset is something that I am continually working on. That's why I am so excited for this challenge coming up. Because I remember as I got started on program, it wasn't long before there were thoughts that started popping up in my head that could have stopped my progress and my success. So as coaches, we've seen these thoughts either become roadblocks or learning experiences. So we want to share the two amazing tools that we think are keys to helping you succeed in creating a healthier body and a healthier mind, and a healthier life. So these are tools that will help you face the ever-present thoughts and emotions that are inevitably going to come up along your journey. So let me share something that happened to me a few weeks into my health journey and see if you can relate to any of this. It was around a holiday, and I remember finding myself circling the dessert table at a party. And thoughts began swirling in my head almost unconsciously. It was a long, hard day. I am so exhausted. It's been a while since I've had a treat now. I really don't like talking to people. How does my husband make friends so easily? And how is he so comfortable? Look at all these beautiful treats. Someone went to a lot of effort to make these, but oh, I can't have them. I think I would actually feel better if I had a bite or two or three or four. I really deserve to have some. It would be the right thing to have one. I literally can't be at a party and not have a treat. All this discomfort might go away if I just ate a few. Can anyone relate to any of these thoughts? Have you had some of those come up already or similar ones? Type them in the chat if you've had any of those thoughts that make you want to just stop. Maybe you're having some right now. So I'm looking in the chat here to see. I don't want to offend the hostess. Oh my goodness, that's a good one. I deserve the treat. Someone just put coffee, like, I don't know, I need the coffee. So what do you do when you have those almost knee-jerk reactions sometimes to grab the food when things get hard? We're going to train you on a technique that you may or may not have already heard of, developed by our co-founder, Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. It's called Stop, Challenge, and Choose. And by the way, this works for all kinds of reactions. So when you've lost it yet again with your kids, or you've dropped the ball on something important at work, or your teenager got another speeding ticket, how do you stop the reaction? This is where you want to create a space. Social psychologist Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, said, in between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And our response lies our growth and our freedom. So when it's one of those moments where you end up in the pantry and you have no idea how you got there, and all you want is that glass of wine or the cookie dough that your daughter made, how do you stop? You start with taking a deep, focused breath and think about your breathing. Thinking about it actually activates a different part of your brain, the reasoning part. Then take a long drink of water. Look at the ground, maybe count to 10, maybe take a walk around the house, read a favorite quote or verse. Next is the part where we move to the challenge. This is where we get really curious, like a detective. Ask yourself some questions. Am I hungry? Would I eat something healthy? Am I thirsty? Am I emotional? Am I blasted, bored, lonely, angry, stressed, tired, excited, depressed? Will this actually fix my problem? Am I falling for a food fallacy, like it's free or it's rare? I shouldn't waste food. I paid good money for it. I'd be missing out on the fun. I just love food too much. How will I feel after eating this physically and emotionally? A year from now, will I regret not eating this? Or will I be proud that I stuck to my goals? What do I want to have happen? What do I want more? So then the third part is where you get to become powerful. You can say to yourself, I can actually have whatever I want. I can have anything in this pantry. I can have anything on that dessert table, but I'm not saying no to the treat or whatever it is. I'm actually saying yes to my goals and my confidence and my health and my life. You can choose whatever you want, and this is what I want. So ultimately, I left that party, leaving the treats for others to enjoy. And the next morning, I was just feeling elated and empowered that I could be in control of my thoughts and my actions. And I felt so proud of the choice that I made. So lastly, remember, this is about progress, not perfection. This will take practice, practice, practice. Shift from perfectionism and cultivate an attitude of progress. Now, Mejken, what's our second tool?
Awesome. Love that, Lauri. Thank you. I love hearing that story. So our second tool could be for something maybe a little bit deeper than just overcoming that urge to eat the dessert, right? When those deeper emotions come up for us and we need to process them. And so we felt like it was really, really important to walk you through the 5 steps to processing emotions that you will see today. So the first thing that we want you to remember to do, and again, let me go back to the challenge and the breathing exercises that you'll be able to get a check with. When you choose to process the emotion to get the check plus, this is what you'll use, and it has been a game changer for me and so many of my clients to really sit and listen to that emotion. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is name the emotion. Sometimes we can get stuck in the middle of those generic emotions, if you will, and we really want you to practice and take the opportunity to name it more specifically. Instead of just, I'm feeling sad, maybe it's, I'm feeling depressed, or I'm feeling defeated. So the more specific that you can get when naming your emotion, the easier it is going to be for you all in all to actually process it. So the generic emotions are there in the center of the wheel. And then as you get farther and farther out to the rim, you can see that they get more specific as you go. So the more specific, the better. The second step is you are going to want to identify it, or excuse me, use the wrong word, locate it. It's right there. Locate it in your body. This is one that was new to me and I practice it almost every day. So what we found is that certain emotions tend to reside in centralized locations. So for example, look at sadness. Sadness can be felt in your eyes, throat, high in your chest. So you want to take the time to locate it. Where is it that you feel it in your body? So the next time it comes up for you, you can identify it more quickly. So we name it, we locate it, and the next step is taking time to describe it. So when we describe it, a lot of times you can use ing words to describe that emotion. Clenching, it feels like a pulling sensation. Pinching, tightening, numbing, pounding, pressing, expanding, or nodding. So take the time to describe what it feels like. So the next time it comes up for you, you can identify it more quickly. After you describe it, you want to take the time to shift it. This is where your breathing practices will come into play, I should say, especially during Choose Your Heart. So when you choose to shift that emotion, we want you to install the practice or the habit of taking at least 3 deep breaths. And those breaths are going to be in through the nose and out through the mouth. almost like you're blowing a bubble with the air that's coming out of your mouth. You can do this 3 times, you can do it 5, as many times as you feel you need, so that your mind has the time to sit with that emotion and pay attention to it. We don't want to buffer it. We don't want to whisk it away. We want to sit with it. And after all, that emotion is just energy flowing through our body. We want it to give it time to be there. And then the last step, after you've taken the time to breathe and shift it, is probably the most important. That's just my opinion, but it's very important to listen to it. So after you've taken the time to shift, your body is smart. You're having those emotions for a reason. Take the time to listen to it. So if you're sad, what is it that wants to be let go or mourned in this situation? If you're angry, what wants to be stopped, changed, or ended? And if you're feeling fear, maybe you're feeling fear right now with making some changes and starting this challenge. What is it that wants to be known? So listening to it after you've taken the time to sit with it and process it. So now I get the opportunity to introduce Kayla Mackay, who is also a certified Optavia coach. And we have asked her to join us on this webinar tonight because she's wonderful, but also because she actually has had real life experience with utilizing both of these tools throughout her health journey. So we'll give it to you, Kayla.
Okay, sorry, we had some mute issues. Yes, I'm super excited to be able to share tonight. First of all, I just feel so much gratitude that Mejken and Lauri are both people that support me. Lauri is actually my coach. And so I feel like I won like the coach lottery because she's amazing. And Mejken has been teaching Lauri so much. But yes, I don't know if that picture, there was a picture of me before and after, but I'll just take you guys back to 2017. That was my before picture. And we like to say it's becoming, like, I'm not like arrived on my next picture. It's just where I happened to be last month. But anyway, back in 2017, I'll just kind of share with you a little of the things that were hard in my life. I was 20 pounds heavier than I am now. I would go and get dressed every morning and kind of dread that time to pick out clothes because I just didn't find anything that I felt great in because I knew that I was struggling and I wanted to hide it, but I didn't really want to hide myself, but I wanted to hide myself. And a couple other things that were hard was I found a passion and a love for baking, and baking, like having that as my hobby, didn't serve my body very well because I was eating those things that I was baking. And the more I've learned about what we just talked about, it wasn't like the baked goods, or it wasn't even the skill of baking. It was my mindset and the stress. And that was how I coped with emotion. I'm the mother of 4 boys, which I love and always have wanted to stay home with them. But I did find that back in 2017 and even before, I just didn't have the tools to move forward in life or to manage emotions. Honestly, I thought the goal in life was for me to be happy 100% of the time. And I thought everyone around me, that was like the goal, like, we're all supposed to be happy all the time. And that was totally not realistic and frustrating. But anyway, again, back in 2017, I was hosting a Christmas party at my house. And I gave myself like 10 minutes before my guests arrived to get dressed. And as I put on the outfit that I planned to wear that night, it didn't fit. It looked terrible. And so I scrambled, and 4 or 5 outfit changes later, I found something to come out in. And it was at that moment that I realized that these hard things that were comfortable, that they weren't serving me. And so I was going to have to do something else that was hard. And that thing for me was reaching out to Lauri and like picking up the phone and talking to her. But that type of hard, that type of uncomfortable has changed the course of my life. And she supported me and helped me to lose those 20 pounds, to feel comfortable in my clothes again. And most importantly for me, it's just given me the confidence and the ability and the tools to be the mom that I want to show up as. I'm still learning. I'm not perfect by any means, but I feel like I have a tool bag that's helpful. So I'm super excited for this challenge. And I know that even if it's uncomfortable, that doesn't mean that it's not going to serve us.
Oh my goodness, Kayla, thank you so much for sharing. My heart is just so full. And could you just hear the shift that has happened for her? Isn't that amazing how as we learn, as we choose our hard, just like our challenge is, that it can lead to something that brings so much joy and so much empowerment into your life. And thank you so much, Kayla. So this is the portion of the call where some of you may have been on your journey and had people noticing changes, and you may be wondering what it would be like to help some of those people in your circle. That's the fun thing that I've noticed with Kayla and for myself, that as we've stepped into to help other people, it's really helped us stay on that path. So we're going to end our call with some basics of what it would look like